Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Hanif Mohammed. I've been training for 26 years. This is my 27th year, and I train a lot of executives from bottom up. That means I start with the assistant managers to CEOs of the companies and CESOs. Mostly I've been training executive class people, and since for the I think about approximately 5 to 10 years I've been with executives. This time I would like to record, and this is my first recording, so apologies if there are any hitches in the sound quality or the video quality. I would like to start by giving you some thoughts, and my first thought to you is, if there is no enemy within, enemy outside can do us no harm. What I mean by this is, do we have enemies inside us? And who is your biggest enemy? When you start something and you think to yourself, yes, I can do it, it's great, and let me try it out. Or the first thought comes in, no, it's very difficult, let's not try it. Most of the time, the sound that we hear is, no, we can't. And this is a very loud sound. Very minute sound comes in when we are saying to ourselves, yes, I can, yes, I can. So, are we our own enemy? What kind of thoughts do we have every single day? We have thoughts. The research shows that we have 58,000 thoughts every single day. 58,000 is minimum. We have 58,000 plus thoughts every single day. Out of these thoughts, 80% of the thoughts are negative. 80% of the thoughts are negative. That means that we are in a tendency to think negative when even things are neutral or maybe sometimes positive. So we have a natural tendency to start thinking negative. When we see someone, what kind of comments do we pass? Do we pass our judgment? Do we think positive or do we think negative? So we have a tendency to think negative. 58,000 plus thoughts every single day that we have, out of which 80% of the thoughts are negative. Now, here is something that I would like you to think about. 98% of the thoughts are exactly the same today that I had were in my mind yesterday. So 98% of my thoughts are repetition that I do every single day. Now, positivity is something that harnesses us, that gives us cognition, that gives us health, and it has a lot of neuroscientific reasons to prosper us. But negativity brings us down. Do we think negative or do we think positive? Most of the time people start or tend to think negative. This negativity bogs us down. It doesn't give us opportunity to do new things or try to do new things. And since this pandemic has started, most of our time is going into negative thoughts. Now, negativity does not create a lot of cognition or innovation or new ideas that come to our mind. So I would like you to start thinking, if there is no enemy within, enemy outside can do us no harm. Certain times I talk to people and they're sitting around, they have nothing to do, so they start to think negative thoughts. Now, most of the time, the negative thoughts are of two things. Most of the executives that I talk to about, or I coach them, or when I counsel some people, I ask them what kind of thoughts that come to their mind. And what they tell me is what has happened in the past. So we are living in the past. Most of the time when we are living in the past, we are depressed because what has happened we cannot change, and those things are keeping us awake at night. So we keep on thinking about the past, and that past really bothers us. What I would like you to start thinking, you cannot change the past. Most of the executives that I talk to, they're afraid. They say we are afraid. And I ask them, what are they afraid of? So they tell me that they are afraid of the future. Now remember, fear is not real. It's a byproduct of what we think might happen in the future, which hasn't even occurred yet. So we start to worry about what hasn't even occurred yet, and we start to worry in the present. So what do we do with the present? We start to destroy our present. And that stress leads us to have quarrels in the house, or maybe have fights with people, maybe destroy our relationships. Certain times we don't even know where it is coming from. Why are we fighting? What is bothering us? Whereas it's the past or the future that destroys our peace in the present. So what we say is, if you're living in the past, you're depressed. If you're living in the future, you're anxious. But if you're living in the present, you're peaceful. Most of the executives that I talk to, and I ask them, what is the end result? What do they want as success? And they say, we want a peaceful life, we want happiness. And imagine what they are doing day in, day out. They're practicing negativity about their fears and their depressions. So I would like you to think, if there is no enemy within, enemy outside can do us no harm. Now, to think positive is a very, very difficult task. It's not easy. And to change our thoughts to positive is very, very difficult. So the past bothers us. Can we leave it? Can we leave it for our loved ones that are with us today? Rather, being sad about what had happened and who has hurt us and who has done what. Now, I'm not talking about forgiveness at this moment. Maybe in the future, if I make another video on forgiveness, I would request you guys to practice that. But for the time being, can we forget about the past? And can we harness the present? Do we wake up in the morning and we say to ourselves, today is the greatest day. I'm going to make the best out of it. I'm going to make everybody happy and give everybody happy vibes and give positive thoughts. Or we wake up thinking, what has happened to us? How difficult it is to go through the day, what kind of work that we have, and we are not enjoying our time. So I would like you to think about, if there is no enemy within, enemy outside can do us no harm. The biggest enemy that you have, the biggest war that you have, is with nobody else but yourself. And that's the war of thoughts that we give to ourselves. So I would like you to think, can you make a better day tomorrow? When you wake up in the morning, let's forget about everything for the future and everything in the past, and let's say that today is my present, and let's make the best out of today. Can we do that? The second thought that I would like to give you before I end is, I would like you to think about, do you feed your fears or do you feed your faith? What a proverb says is, if you feed your fears, your faith will starve, and when you feed your faith, your fears will starve. Now, whenever I talk about this, my participants normally tell me that there are two sides of faith. One is the spiritual side, and the other one is self-belief. Here, what I would like you to have is self-belief. If you believe in yourself, you're actually feeding your faith. So, do you believe in yourself? Last year was a devastation for me. I lost a lot of my clients, a lot of business was lost. I had no clientele coming in. So I thought to myself, what's going to happen to me in the future? And I started stressing over it. But then I realized that I have faith. I have faith in myself. I can create new things. I can create new avenues. I can look at things in a better way. So if I start to feed my faith and if I have self-belief, I would start to talk to myself in a positive manner. Again, what are my strengths? Let's not concentrate on the weaknesses. Let's concentrate on the strengths. What are my strengths? My strengths are the ones that is going to get me through. My strengths are the ones which has got me where I am today. So what are my strengths? I would like you to start thinking about what are your strengths. Feed your faith. When I talk to people, I ask them, do you believe in yourself? And they would tell me, yes, they can go to the moon in faith. But when I ask them, do they talk to themselves in a positive note, telling themselves what they can achieve, how good they are, what are their strengths, how can they harness those strengths? Rather than concentrating on the weaknesses, let's concentrate on the strengths. So, do you believe in yourself? Do you tell yourself every day that you can touch the moon if you want to? Believe in yourself. That is feeding your faith, your self-belief. Okay? List down list down your strengths that you have and think about how can you utilize them. Think about all the achievements that you had in the past. Take out all your awards, everything that will give you some motivation to start having faith in yourself. Remember, we feed a lot of our fears. This time, let's feed our faith. If you feed your fears, your faith will starve. If you feed your faith, your fears will starve. So I would like you to start feeding your faith. Tell yourself, you are the greatest. You are great. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, you're great. You can achieve great things. No matter what the circumstances are, you can always come out of it. You can always have that positivity in your life. You're not going to let go of this positivity. You're not going to go into a ditch with negative thoughts. So, folks, this is all I have to say for today. I hope I didn't exceed a lot of my time. Thank you very much. I hope it's helpful. Take care.